right, we could all hear each other.
We're back.
All right, we're back. We're survived. The weatherman maybe made a mistake and sent the storms on a Monday situation, not a Wednesday situation. So now we're talking post wind, post hail, post rain damage. We've had several shows about what to do, what not to do. So now we're just going to take it and turn it into one checklist of we have Adam, insurance agent, expert, talk about what to do there. Nick can talk about what to do when you have a property under contract, whether you're the buyer or the seller. And then Adam, maybe I got a couple questions for you too. Like when you have a property with a mortgage on it and you're filing a claim, how does all that how does that work, and why does some of that stuff work? So imagine you wake up tomorrow, your basement's got 6 inches of water. Adam, what's the very first thing someone should do there?
Call someone to get the water out.
Right.
So I think a lot of people default to, I need to wait, or I need to call the insurance company. The reality is you got water in your basement, Nick, and you need to get it out. Whether an insurance company is going to cover it or not, you got to get someone out there immediately to start getting rid of the water so there's no mold and nastiness, right? Yeah. So first step is get in touch with someone to fix it. Second step would probably be in that situation, call the insurance company, see what's going on. But there isn't like I think people think like in the middle of the night they got a call. Like there's no rush there. It could be the next day or the day after. The first thing is let's protect your property.
I think, Adam, you've talked about before, you have like a year after an event to file an insurance claim.
Yeah, most companies give you 1 year to file from the date of loss, and then you have 2 years to get it fixed to keep that replacement cost coverage.
All right. So what percentage of people actually know what happens after they call their insurance company?
I would say 3%.
Right. The other 97%.
Yeah, I think the first thing most people would do would be call the insurance company. And Adam, you alluded to it before. Some insurance agents will just say, okay, file a claim. Might not be the best thing to do. What you're saying is assess the damage first, which is good. Most people don't know this. Assess the damage first. Maybe get it out, because calling the insurance company isn't just going to get it out. You don't want water just sitting there while you're waiting for everything to happen,
right?
Or whatever the damage is. Your roof, all messed up, shingles are off, whatever it might be. So assess the damage. Get some contractors out there, and then call the insurance company and go from there.
Yeah, and the reason for that is, and most insurance companies, we realize that premiums are getting unaffordable. They're affecting real estate deals. They're hurting people's budgets. But the reality is the storms are causing that. So what they've done is they've made adjustments to the policies to keep the premium affordable. So now you're seeing 1%, 2%, 3% wind and hail deductibles, meaning, and that's from the replacement cost of the house, Tony. So if you're at $1 million house and you're at a 2% wind hail deductible, you're at $20,000 for your before the insurance company pays anything. So if I've got a tree down on a fence and my deductible is $20,000 and I call my insurance agent and I put a claim in, but it's below my deductible, it's still a claim and it's still going to affect your premiums. So let's just be smart and take a second and figure out what the actual situation is.
I think most people don't, understand how putting a claim in can affect you. So just put a claim in and see what happens. But what you're saying is obviously that has an effect. So you assess the situation first, see if it's even worth putting a claim in, because you're not meeting your deductible. It's not helping you anyway. But now you got a claim in, which could affect you.
Yeah, and I also think most people assume that like the insurance company is going to come out and look and tell them what to do. We don't do that. We're not going to, the relationship with the contractor is with the customer, the insured, and the contractor. So, we're not going to be finding contractors for you because that relationship's between you and them. So you're going to have to call a contractor anyway. Might as well get them involved in the beginning.
So walking through that situation, right? So is your house safe, right? If you have water in the basement, you got a hole in the roof, mitigating the continued problem is step two, right? After you check and make sure your whole family's safe. How many pictures are enough, Adam, or how many videos are enough?
I think just a general overview of what's happened. The damage is going to be speak for itself when the adjuster comes. You don't have to go crazy, but if there is hail, take a picture of the hail. You'd be surprised how many people, when I was a rep, they'd save the hail in their freezer, which I loved, because they were so excited to show it to me. I'm like, oh my God, I haven't seen hail this size and ever. And I just saw 17 of them the day before. But I think just taking enough, you don't have to go crazy. But little things like, okay, so I think there's still a lot of people without power. Am I right? Like the whole South Side.
All of Crete, I believe.
Yeah,
So
without power, I know.
inside of your homeowner's policy, we would owe for like food that you lose in your freezer. Obviously that's a huge deductible to overcome. But if you got a tree on your house and your basement's flooded, we owe you for all that. So you don't have to keep the stinky food in your freezer, right? Take a picture of it and get rid of it. We don't need it stinking up in there. Same thing with basements. It's like, well, what do I throw out? Well, you don't need to keep your stinky pad. Like take pictures of the stuff that's damaged and get rid of it. You just have to document.
Okay. So do receipts matter in these cases at all, or just pictures? You guys can kind of figure it out. What?
Yeah, I would keep as much documentation as you can. I mean, so you talk about mitigating, right? So if you went and rented a generator to keep your sump pump going, to not have it like get any more water down there, we would owe you for that. So I would say over documenting is the place to be.
All right. Is there anything outside of like calling the claims hotline immediately? Is there anything a person should not say?
I mean, there's things you should not do. Like someone knocks on your door and asks you to sign a contract. Like almost never have I ever seen that worked out. So, I mean, not saying, I think you just have to be honest with stuff because everything gets figured out. Like you showed the picture of the person with the AI basement doctored up photo, like, the truth always comes out. So just be honest.
What does an adjuster actually do?
So an adjuster comes in, assesses the damage for the building itself, and puts together an estimate to put the building back together. What always happens is there's always going to be a difference between what the contractor says is needed and what the adjuster says is needed, because we got two different people looking at one project. So they have the duty to work with that contractor to say, hey, look, our numbers are off. So it's either the scope, which means our measurements are off. So it's either the measurements are off or the scope of work is off, meaning, you forgot to pay me to mud and tape the drywall. Oh, my bad. That line item's not in there. So it's a negotiation process to make sure that the customer gets paid everything that they're owed. That's what their job is.
All right. So Nick's the customer. He goes through with the adjuster, the contractor, and he disagrees with something. Is there a resolution process? Is it arbitration? How does that work?
Yeah, the process should be, hey, I disagree. Well, what do you disagree with? I disagree with the amount that I'm getting. All right, well, inside of the amount, it's materials and labor. So which one is it? And that's not a place that a customer is usually comfortable. That's a place usually that the contractor and the adjuster have to agree on things. So that's the process. And then outside of that, if there's, well, I don't think this is damage or that's damage, there's an appraisal process that you can go through. That gets a little sticky, but there's always some place to have someone be the judge of that independently.
So Nick, if I got a house listed for sale and I have opened up I'm wondering if I need to open up an insurance claim because something has changed, a tree, a basement flood. Like, would calling you, if you're the agent or you're my agent in this situation, you need to do that? What type of conversation is had there?
Well, you definitely need to call the agent because the agent needs to know a little bit what's going on because they, as far as this side of it, and we letting the other side know. It's always good. And like Adam said in this thing, and our same with our side here is be upfront and honest about what's happening. It's always the best way to go about it and being forthcoming, and you got to get it taken care of. So, that's why, I love coming on the show with you guys and talk with you guys. You learn more as you do it. Like Adam said, you assess the situation or the situation first, assess the damage, how much it might cost you. Probably understand your insurance policy more. And Adam, most people probably don't, you know what I mean? I could be guilty of that. Don't know exactly what that is. And then that's the first call they want to make, but you want to assess the situation first, obviously get get some contractors out there, get a price and see if it's worth calling your insurance agent to put a claim. But yes, always call the agent up, the real estate agent up first, let them know what's going on. We can let the other side know what's going on and we can come up with a solution.
All right, Adam, what do you think the two biggest mistakes insured people make in these situations?
Signing contracts with contractors that are public adjusters. So inside of those contracts, you're actually going to pay them to manage your claim for you. So you might lose 5% of your deal. You don't even know because it's written down in there. There's also clauses in there that say, if you don't use this, you still owe us $5,000. Like, it's just like, don't sign a contract with anybody. That's the biggest thing. And then not mitigating, like waiting for a week because the basement flooded because they haven't got a hold of the insurance company. It's like, no, man, get that thing done. So those are the two biggest things.
I got a quick question on that for you, Adam. We got a second, Tony. So say someone does wait because they don't know, right? And they're waiting on the insurance to come out there. And that could harm them more because they waited, right? Or no, because they waited more, and the insurance company could then say, well, you didn't take care of this in a timely manner.
In the contract, which no one reads, there is a duty to mitigate. That's one of the first duties. One is to report timely, and two, it's to mitigate the damage. So if your damage floods and you got coverage, great. But because you wait 2 weeks and now there's mold all over the house, that might be something that's not covered, which is really expensive. So there are major consequences to not understanding or asking questions or getting good advice.
That's good to know.
All right. And so we always talk about the dreaded mortgagee clause, that the thing on your insurance policy that indicates that you have a mortgage. And I believe, Adam, you've mentioned before, in Illinois, there's a restriction or a number for the paid claim that then refers the insurance company. So real quick about that, I can comment about the mitigating part there too, but go ahead with what happens there.
Yeah, so and in every state's different, but as soon as the damage exceeds a threshold, and sometimes it's low, like 7,500 or 10,000, which is low for the total damage, not even the check you get, just the damage. So if you think about it, the mortgage company actually owns part of your house, if not the majority of it. So insurance company must list them as a payee, and then every mortgage company has their own process to release those funds, which might include setting up an escrow and having someone come out and inspect and make sure that you're fixing the house that they own. So it's important that once you're in that situation and you're going to get a check, immediately call your mortgage company and say, what's your process? Because they're all different.
That so you're in the your insurance contract, right? Duty to mitigate, duty to timely report. In your mortgage, like it's usually a 12 to 14 page document that has size 12 text that's really, really boring. There is a requirement or an expectation of a borrower to keep the home inhabitable and a livable condition, or the condition that it was in when you got the appraisal and you closed on that transaction. So that is why that happens. I promise you, mortgage companies hate that phone call, but we're happy to troubleshoot it. That's why a great agent, a great insurance agent is there. In Adam's case, their team's there to help that process through, not just send you into call center land, right?
That's right.
All right, so if we're building a checklist real quick to wrap this up, something crazy happened. Well, actually, I don't know. We got an extra minute here. Adam, what's the biggest home insurance claim amount you've ever dealt with?
Oh man, total loss. $800,000 total loss to a home. Someone went to the bathroom and decided to light a candle to cover up said bathroom trip, and then left to go pick their kids up from daycare and came back to a house that was burnt down.
All right, so $800,000 claim sounds like a total loss situation. Claims don't, although they're a necessary part of your business, they don't intimidate your team. You guys know how to navigate them. You've obviously dealt with a stinky turd that resulted in burning a house down. The team can handle all these conversations, right?
Exactly. Hold on, let me turn this off. So the other big misconception, I'll just throw it out there, but I got to run soon, but is that people think that a claim will hurt. Like, we don't want you to have the claim. That is not true at all. It doesn't affect us at all as far as monetarily or whatever, as far as State Farm goes. So I want you to get paid. I'm on your side. I actually don't care if you have a claim or not. So that's the biggest thing too. But yeah, no, we're not intimidated. We love helping people with it.
All right. So our checklist, Nick, you tell me if these make sense. Ensure everyone's safe. Stop additional damage. Contact emergency services if necessary. You got a power line or a gas leak or something like that. Mm-hmm. Call your insurance agent. Don't call the claims hotline. I'm sorry, we got this out of order. We should say maybe call a contractor, start to gather costs, then call your insurance agent. Take some pictures, start writing some things down, get the stinky stuff out of your refrigerator or your basement. And then if you decide that you're going to move forward, understand your deductible. And then if you're going to move forward with this claim, get your claim number, follow up on next steps, case closed.
Bingo.
So
you nailed it.
Stop the problem, make sure everyone's safe, start to figure out cost and then have the conversation with your insurance company. That makes that process that much easier.
That's it.
Little steps like that can go a long way.
Anything else you guys want to hit on here real quick?
No, I think we're good.
That was a lot of good information.
All right. Well, if you guys are in the anywhere that needs help, you guys can always reach out to my team, Adam's team, or Nick's team. We're always in the area looking to help people out. Adam, they can get you at adamismyagent.com. They get me at applywithjr.com. And Nick, they can Google you and follow you on social media at Realtor Nick Oosting.
Absolutely.
All right.
Easy way.
Cool. All right. Well, we're out then. We'll see you guys next Wednesday.
Later.
See ya.
I'm done. Cut the show.